Good evening from Athena the Witch 13. I come to you this evening and I apologize. I don't remember who it was who asked me about a crystal called Fulgurite. Basically, Fulgurite is it's a crystal made, and it's when there's lightning, and lightning strikes the sand. And then because of the heat of the lightning, okay, it actually turns it into a tubal type of shape crystal. Okay. I can't remember who asked me that, so I apologize. So that's why I wanted to put it on here. And it is a very powerful crystal. Okay. And it has healing properties. And it's also a manifestation of one's own higher purpose. Okay. So it awakens you to your higher self. Okay. That's one of the other things. And it works on all the chakras. Okay. So that's the other thing that it's about. It's powerful and it works on all the chakras. And the element is from the storm. Okay. The other thing I wanted to say about it is that if you're looking at a zodiac sign, it's for Virgo and Gemini. Okay. Usually Virgo and Gemini don't really get along that well because Gemini is air and Virgo is earth. Fire and air get along better, but there are exceptions for everything. Okay. Let's see if I can get a live chat going. Okay. So the other thing about it is that it's a stone of purification. Okay. It's a healing stone. When I say that it works on all the chakras, it's because it activates the Kundalini energy in you. Okay. So it's a very spiritual transformational stone. So I believe that the young lady said that her husband found that stone for her. So I think that's awesome. Okay. So let me know if anyone has ever heard about the Fulgurite crystal and what your experience with it was or is. Okay. Okay. The other thing I wanted to talk about is the wheel of the year. Now, I'm someone who cannot live in a state that does not experience all of the seasons. That's just me. I love every season. Every season has something special to offer. And for example, right now we are going to be leaving spring by June the 21st. So, and we'll enter into summer. And as you can see now, the mornings are kind of crispy. Okay. And still there's some wind to it. So it's a little colder than summer, but we're getting there because tomorrow, supposedly in Jersey, is supposed to be 80 degrees. And then once, summer ushers in, it's a whole new different story. But we're going to start with the year with Yule. So Yule is really the winter, okay? And where did the wheel of the year really start? It's more Wiccan than anything else, but some pagans do follow it. I mean, I follow a lot of it, but not all of it. Like, I don't necessarily bring in maiden crone and mother aspect with the sun god and the birth and the death and renewal and so on that. But I look at it in other ways. Like, for example, being that Yule is the winter, we are starting to slow down. Things are dying down. It's time for reflection, time for going inward, doing shadow work, for example, working on your shadow book, things like that. If you notice that, everything, the trees are bare, there's snow on the ground. So it's covering all those beautiful seedlings, and they're just waiting for spring to come back so that they can come up and show us themselves. So that's a time where usually Yule is on December 20th to the 23rd. And that's if you live in, for example, the Northern Hemisphere, okay? When you're in the Southern Hemisphere, obviously, it changes. So, yeah. And for that, you go to a calendar and look and see when, Yule starts. And for us, basically, it is explaining, the Wheel of Year is explaining, for example, the 8th celebrations, the 8 Sabbaths, okay? And there are 4 seasons, so there are 2 equinox and there's 2 solstices, and these are called the cross quarters because they fall in between the Sabbaths, okay? And it's even hard for Wiccans to celebrate all the Sabbaths because, let's face it, you're working, you have a family, and it's hard to do all of the celebrations that go into it. So does that make you less of a witch? No, that doesn't make you less of a witch. You do what you can with what you have and the time you have, that's the only other thing. So having said that, we go into, for example, the remaining 4 Sabbaths, okay? Now, what do I mean by this, okay? It's really about life and death, dark and light, balance and imbalance that's happening. And this is the longest night and the shortest day of the year. And people are staying indoor more. Older people are staying indoor more because, unlike the younger generation who might be taking to going skiing, ice skating, playing hockey, ice hockey, the older generation is more home, sitting in front of the fireplace, knitting, crocheting, working, doing, men are doing work in the shed, maybe carving and making furniture or something of that sort. So it's time, you're changing with the seasons, you're adapting to the seasons. And the weather's cold and you're bundling up, and you're wearing layers and layers. And as you get older, you get colder. You're not like when you're young, you don't really feel the cold that much. But when you get older, trust me, you feel the cold. So sitting by the fireplace if you have one, or just, cozying up at home with a blanket, a throw blanket, watching TV or listening to music or reading a book. That's usually the preparation. And you're starting to prepare for those who celebrate Christmas. And some people celebrate Christmas but without Jesus. Others celebrate with Jesus because Jesus is the gift to mankind. Okay. Um, so it's, that time of the year and season where you're running around buying gifts. Um, you know, um, you're going to the store and you're buying things because you're inviting family over and you're going to be cooking and decorating and you got the tree to get. And then there's just so much to do when Yule comes. And it can be very stressful depending on how you handle it, or it could be a lot of fun, you know. Um, I know, like, we don't do a turkey for Christmas because we did it for Thanksgiving. So we'll do mostly a ham, something like that, or a lamb, uh, like a lamb. Um, so, yeah, there's a lot of preparation that goes in. If you have children, you got to think of what's the newest games out there that they're interested in for as a present, for Christmas. So a lot of things go into recipes. You're digging in the recipe box to see what grandma made because everybody remembers how good it tastes, and maybe, you can bring that back onto the table and see how the family likes it. Did you get it right, or are you off key? That kind of thing. So that's Yule. And when you're young, it's a great time with your kids to bring them outdoors and to get them used to the different seasons. And you bundle them up, and they're out there in the backyard, and they're making a snowman, and that kind of thing. They're on their sleds riding, So it's a different period, different season, and it can be beautiful. I think every season is beautiful. And then, from Yule, we go into what's called in bulk. And basically that's February, but we, you and I probably know it more in the United States as Groundhog Day, first, second day of February. We look to see if the groundhog saw its shadow, and if he didn't see his shadow, then, we'll have a quicker spring. If you did see a shadow, then we'll have a longer winter, that kind of thing. So again, as the months go from February to March, we start seeing little seedlings appear out of the snow, and little buds start coming on the trees, And so it's a time of renewal, basically. And that's when you have a lot of festivities that take place, especially in the Wiccan world. They do a lot of, in Ireland they do the May dancing, and it's a big thing. They come dressed up and they dance, and they're actually happy that the earth now, the green is coming back, the grass, you can see the grass, the trees, like I said, the buds are opening up. And so it's a time of renewal. Okay. It's also a time of fertility, really. Spring. It's when the birds get together, and people procreate just like the animals procreate that time of the year, so that's the spring aspect of it. And as we move forward to the summer, that's very different because now the temperature is much hotter. Okay, so we're not wearing heavy clothes anymore. We wear tank tops, shorts, flip flops, that kind of thing. And we're looking forward to going to the beach, taking in the sun. Actually, I just came from the beach today. We left and it was a little gloomy, but when we got down there, the sun was out and it was gorgeous. Okay. All right. It was absolutely gorgeous. Windy, a little cold, but I had my hoodie, so I was fine. And I went seashell collecting. Okay. That was something when I was a little child and we had a house down the shore for the summer. That was one of my favorite things to do, go and collect seashells. And on a rainy day, my mother used to put a plastic tablecloth on the kitchen table and give us paint and brushes, and we decorated the seashells. And I do that to my grandkids today. I tell them, hey, Grandma's got seashells. Do they like them? I don't know. Different times, different era. But yeah. So, but you see that in the summertime, people want to go where it's nice and warm. They want to go to the beach. They want to go swimming. Some people want to go up to a lake. They're more lake people than beach people. But basically, people want to be outdoors. They go hiking, bicycle riding, kayaking. This is a time where everything that we planted is now coming towards the end of summer into fruition. And so we're being able to see the bountiful fruits and foods that, we were waiting for, And of course, during the summertime, we kind of eat different. We don't eat heavy. We kind of like to take in more fruit, colder vegetables, salads, things like that. Of course, ice cream. I love it. It doesn't love me anymore. You get a certain age and you got to give up certain things. But younger generation loves it. Ice pops, all kinds of things like that. A lot of birthdays to celebrate, and it's just a wonderful time. Okay. You want to be outdoors. You don't want to be inside anymore. You want to take in the sunshine. You want to go to events that are taking place. So summer is a beautiful time for you to also look at nature and say thank you. Thank you for everything that you've given us, and before you know it, here comes autumn. Okay. Now I have a nose for autumn. I will tell you, I don't need a calendar to say when autumn is ushering in. Okay. I can feel it. I can smell it. I can breathe it. I can taste it. And I am so, so happy because autumn is probably, out of all of the 4 seasons, my favorite season, even as a little girl. Obviously, Halloween. Okay. Just, getting into that mindset of apple picking, pumpkin picking, going out on hay rides and things like that. And the weather is just kind of like Indian summer, a little, still a little bit humid, but depending on where you live, but beautiful. And I know for me, for example, it's the most busiest time of my year because it's the time where I'm requested to do a lot of readings for tarot readings. And I don't know if I shared this with you, but I don't think I have. I used to go to Salem, Massachusetts for at least, I guess it's been 10 years, and read the tarot cards. And at that time, my daughter was living at home, and she and I would go up there and we would do the aura photography. It actually shows you all the chakras in your body and what's in alignment, what's out of alignment, and also she would work the machine. It was a machine where you put your hand on this electronic device, and it would project on a screen all your chakras and how they looked. Okay, and it would give you a printout on what they meant, where you are emotionally, physically, mentally. Okay, so she did that aspect, and then I would interpret intuitively. I would interpret what I saw. Um, that ended when she went off to the Air Force, and I didn't go back to Salem to do readings because at that time, the very last time we were up there, they had changed. We used to do our readings in the townhouse, and now basically we're in the Essex Mall. It's no longer the townhouse, and you're sitting next to another table, and it's so close that, in my opinion, I didn't want to do readings that way. I think readings are very personal, and so it should be on a one-to-one, away from other people. And it to me, it just kind of lost its flavor, if you will. I don't get me wrong, I love Salem. I mean, I feel very at home in Salem, and what I love to do is to walk the streets, and somehow I just know where everything is. I don't know. I just know where everything is. I may not know the name of the street, but I know what I'm looking for, and I find it real quick. Um, so that was that. I met a lot of nice people there, other psychics that were there. Um, and it was a good time. But like everything else, things must go, and you start doing other things with your life. Um, Being that I live in southern New Jersey, there's not a lot of events, psychic fairs that take place, but in the northern part of New Jersey, there are. So I'm known better up there than I am down here. And the only tarot readings I really do are for people that have heard about me and contact me, or right now I'm talking about possibly do some tarot readings in a restaurant on a certain night of the week. So that's, in the works. But yeah, I need to get back to my fairs. I love my fairs. So I guess I'm going to have to be doing some traveling. you know, but yeah, but that's what, fall is, that when you think about it, the leaves are starting to change color, and they're taking on earth tones. And I like to think when I see the leaves falling from the branches on a tree, I watch them, and it's almost like they're dancing with the wind as they break off and find their way down to the ground, where they make a plush, beautiful tapestry of earth tone carpet. It's so poetic in and of itself. And then before you know it, Halloween's here, and you're busy decorating. Some people go way out. I know. I will get in my car and my husband and I, and we'll drive around and we'll see how great some people go all the way out and decorate. I mean, unbelievable, you know. It's almost like they're in a contest with each other who can do the better decoration for Halloween, you know. And it's just great. It is. It's just great. And it's something in the air, you know. It's apple cider. It's those yummy jelly apples, or the caramel ones with the nuts, you know, pomegranates. I mean, and then I love pumpkin soup. I love squash. So they have all the things that I really enjoy. And along with that, recipes for the harvest, you know. Um, and then before you know it, that's gone. And here we are, you know, after Samhain, Halloween. Um, Here we are in January, and October, November, December, and before you know it, January. So, yeah, it all goes around and around and around, you know. But like I said, every season brings you something different. So, I have, and I don't know if I can show that to you, but I would have to turn this around so you could see it. Let's see. I don't know if you can see the wheel. Here you go. The wheel of the year. Okay. All right. That is Mickey Mueller. Okay. Also, while I'm at it, let me give you a tour of my office, which is my witchy room. And let's see how that works. So, let's see. So yeah, that's the top of my bookcase and shelves. And let's see where I can go with this. All right. And you can see the top of my shelves up there as well. And we're coming down. I don't know if you can see that. Let's see. This is terrible. I'm not very good at this, I know. But it's just to give you an idea of what's here. And I think you've seen this, my wall. And of course, here's my Misty right here. And let's see, I have everything else here. My room is full. It's very, very full. I bought this here. Let's see. This is basically all of my herbs and stuff. So, yeah. So, I guess you get the gist of it. That I bought when I was in Salem one year. Not sure what year that was. So yeah, that's a tour of my witchy room. And this is where I like to be with all my artifacts. And like I said before, you really don't have all these things, you know? So if you want to ask me any questions, please do. Okay. When I talk about the wheel on my wall of the year, it means a lot to me. It's so very well done. It's very intricate. I Mickey Mueller is unbelievable. She is a incredible artist. And if you have any Llewellyn calendars, she has illustrated quite a few of those as well. So, yeah, some people are very gifted that way. And I don't know how she does it, but she does. And I love to read. She wrote a book, and it's called Halloween. Let me see. I think I have it here. There you go. Yes, by Mickey Mueller. It's really a good book, and it takes me back to my childhood as well. We're probably more or less the same age, I would say. Now, if you want to go the Wiccan way, it's much more involved. They cast a circle when they do a gathering. They call the quarters, the 4 quarters, and there's offerings that they make, like of ale and cakes for the god and the goddesses. And some people really like that, you know. But that's not my thing so much. I like to celebrate the holidays the best to my ability. And even, like, for example, the full moon. You can get very elaborate celebrating the full moon. Okay. I don't. Because of my schedule and everything. A lot of times, what I'll do is, depending on the season too, if it's cold, I will go outside on my porch, put my coat on, bring a lit candle with me, and just sit there and talk to the moon, old lady, and tell her what a week I've had. And she listens. She does. And by the time I'm finished, I'm back inside and I feel relaxed and relieved and unburdened. I don't go through the whole ritual of doing that. Some people will go and they'll bathe in moon water. I do put bottles out to catch the rain and put it, out there for the moon. I use that on washing my floors, things like that, in my bathtub, when I'm taking a bath. And it's very helpful. So, you can do all those things. Well, let me know, just let me know if I'm writing this right. Let me know how you celebrate the seasons. Or not. Okay. So basically, there are parts of the country where you won't be celebrating all of the seasons. Like if you're in California, certain parts of California, you're not going to be celebrating Christmas the way we do here, in the northern section of the country, where it's colder and where there's snow, etc. So, in certain seasons or certain festivities just don't resonate with people who don't have all those seasons to celebrate. And that's understandable, you know. But yeah, I mean, it's interesting. I know that when it's a winter, Yule time, I like to curl up on the couch or in my lazy boy chair with a blanket and a good book, you know, versus when it's summertime, I'm out there and I want to go everywhere because I just want to soak in the sun and the beautiful flowers that are out there. Oh, and the other thing I love to do is go to yard sales. I don't necessarily, buy everything because I got enough of stuff, thank you. But if I find something that's meaningful, yeah. And so yard sales start in the spring all the way into even around Thanksgiving. And then because at that time, um, flea markets too are incorporating Thanksgiving things and Christmas things. So there's a lot of people out and about for that as well. So, so let me know what you think. Um, and I appreciate if you subscribe and push that bell. This way, it lets me know that you want to hear more, and let me know what topics you want to hear. Okay. So until next time, brightest blessings, be good to yourself, and enjoy your life. Bye bye.